What's going on, Commander fans? Draft is about 32 hours away. We should be on the clock in about 32 hours. And what will we do at 16? That's the question. Will we trade back? Will we trade forward? Which I don't think we're trading forward because you already heard Martin Mayhew say he really hasn't had too much success in trading forward. So who knows what we're going to do. But I do believe at 16, Darnell Wright could be there. Dalton Kincaid would definitely be there. Dante Banks should be there. Brian Branch might be there. Anton Harris could be there. And Emmanuel Forbes should be there. So, and I got Paris Johnson on there, but I don't think Paris is going to be there. If I had to choose, if we were picking 16, which one of these guys I would pick, we'll get to that later. But, I mean, could you pass up on a Darnell Wright? I mean, you see what he did against Alabama. You can't deny what this guy did against Alabama. You just can't deny it. It was an unbelievable performance. I went back, I watched the tape myself. And, with Michael Parsons and all this stuff that's in our division, the Eagles, which led the league in sacks last year, Son Reddick coming off the edge, and then the Giants got the young kid, Thibodeau. I can't lie, that would be an upgrade. Then you got Dalton Kincaid, who I personally think, I just don't doubt it at all. Not next year, not the year after next, not the year after that. Come in immediately and help the offense. Not a project, not a guy that has to gain weight, not a guy that, this guy is ready to go out the box. Then you got Deonte Banks. I mean, it's a 4-3 guy. Fast. Already broke him down. Maryland guy. I think would be a good addition. Then you got Brian Branch, who I just think would elevate the defense as well. And then you got my man from the Command Center, Washington Command Center. He is high on this guy. He's so high on this guy that I spent all day yesterday watching tape on Anton Harris. Just watching tape on him, man. He's an Oklahoma tackle. No different than, he's not as good as Trent Williams, and I don't think he's as good as Lane Johnson, but he's in the neighborhood. They really coach up some good offensive linemen there, and when you look at his tape, it's not bad at all. That division is really don't have good defenses, so that's really my only problem with him. But hell, Trent Williams is in that division, so maybe Anton could turn into a top flight left tackle. Then you got Emmanuel Forbes. Now, I know a lot of people say 16 is too high to draft a player like Emmanuel Forbes, but I can't look past it. I tried to look past it, but I can't look past 6 pick sixes in a career. That's something that I want on my football team. I want a guy that could, because it's a point league. It's all about who has the most points at the end of the day. And if this guy's intercepting and he's taking footballs away and we getting takeaways, then how could you pass that up if that was on the board? So I think one of those guys, at the end of the day, one of these guys right here will be a Washington Commander tomorrow. I'll be shocked if one of these guys aren't a Commander by tomorrow. Unless Mayhew does something like trade down and then get I don't know a name off the top of the head, but Let's say if he gets somebody like just anybody. He could get the tight end from Notre Dame. Who knows? Let's say he does that. I would be shocked if it's not one of these guys. And I'll kind of be upset if it's not one of these guys. But like it's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that we just aren't privy to. Like Ron Rivera tell you, they asked him, hey man, have you talked to the Josh Harris group? And Ron didn't say no. He didn't say yes either. But, I mean, all we know, Josh Harris could have called Ron and said, look, coach, continue as business as usual. I'm going to handle this all this office business. Getting in here, getting people in here, putting my stamp on the office, and you continue to do what you're doing. Coach, you got 2 years. I don't know if Josh Harris said that to Ron Rivera or not. You don't know if. And by the way Ron is moving to me, I don't know if you guys picked it up, but he's moving with a man that doesn't seem urgent. It doesn't seem urgent to him. So, I don't know. He might have 2 years and you know, and like I told y'all before in previous videos, I'm a Sixers fan. He owns the Sixers. I remember exactly how the process worked and what the process consisted of when he came there. So if I was a betting man, I would say Ron Rivera has 2 years. Unless he totally muffs this thing and we're picking like top 5. And I just don't see that with a Ron Rivera coach team. And from a talent standpoint, without this draft, this is the most talented team that we've had since Ron's been here. So I just don't know what's going on. And I'm sure Josh Harris has had his eye on what we're doing here in Washington. I'm sure he has his eye on. Like I said, this guy's from Chevy Chase, Maryland. This could be his favorite team. So I don't know. But I'm going to tell you straight up, man. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. If all these guys that I name is on the board and we don't trade our pick at 16, me personally, from a personal standpoint, not what I think Ron's going to do or Martin Mayhew. God knows I hope we don't leave it up to Martin Mayhew. Because you seen what he wanted to do last year. So, I personally think the guy out of all of these guys, I think it's a few guys on here that will help us immediately. But like a Darnell Wright, for instance. Now, I know he's going to be a better tackle than our tackle we got. But is he going to be better than him next year? You know, swapping tackles out. I just don't see putting the extra. That's not putting the extra guy. That's taking a guy and you're just replacing him with another guy. That's a rookie. And we really don't know what he's going to do when the lights cut on. We can see what he did in college, but we don't know what Darnell Wright's actually going to do. We can see his measurables and we can see that he measures up to a top tackle in the National Football League, but is that going to happen? Dalton Kincaid. This is another guy that I would love. But if I had to pick one guy out of all of these guys, and I like Anton Smith, like I told you, I like Brandon Banks and the Emmanuel Forbes with the 6th pick. But if I think a guy that we don't have at all on our football team, that we just don't have one of these, and we need one of these, and nickel being our primary position, and no, I don't want to gamble on no late round nickel. Me personally, if they do that, I'm all for it. But this is me from a personal standpoint. It's not a time to gamble. I would get Brian Branch. I'm just sorry. Brian Branch out there with A Montez who's trying to get money. And now they didn't pick up the 5th-year option on Chase Young. I expect him to come out there with his hair on fire. Duran has already got his money. Jonathan Allen got his money. Jamin Davis got something to prove. Cody Barton's coming here from Seattle after 100 and something tackles last year. And then if you didn't see how Khaleke Hudson looked in the Dallas game, you should go back and watch that. He's really everything that he was doing in Michigan that year with them. Then you look at Cam Curl, who's probably the most underrated defensive player in the whole entire National Football League. He goes out, we can't do anything on defense. So if I look at that, I'll get Brian Branch. So now let's get into they didn't pick up Chase Young's 5th-year option. I think it's weird. Can you make a mistake and do the right thing at the same time? Because I think this is what this is. I think Chase is capable of being a double-digit sack guy. And maybe this extra motivation to do it, but by you doing this is, okay, say if he is that player. Now you're going to have to pay him. So let's hope that Chase takes this as motivation. He balls out. Montez balls out. We make the playoffs. And then we have to deal with the situation when it comes. But hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that share, hit that bell. More content is definitely on the way. And let's take command.